everyone, this is Lindsay from Super Secret Powers Coaching. I just want to do a little vlog today. And I've been trying to task myself to think about some of the foundational pieces that I would need to build around Super Secret Powers. Things I want you guys to know about how I work and what I think about gifts, about being intuitive, about being an empath, about how those are your super secret powers, even if they don't feel like it sometimes, even if sometimes they feel like a burden. And today I just wanted to add a little thought, a little tip, a little mini lesson around intuitive mastery. Now, I've been actually struggling personally in finding a vision for myself, for something that I can put all my gusto behind, and really just kind of dig in deep with and grow some roots into. And it comes so much easier for other people. And I think that's just, part and parcel of being intuitive. When the flow opens for others, I think that's the miracle. For us, it's the self-work. It's the needing to be clear. It's the mastery of it. But even if you get that mastery, or even when you commit to that mastery, even when you commit to that mastery of trying to have those visions for yourself, of trying to hold the energy for something to come through, we're still part of this creative process, and I think we skip that because we're so focused, I think, a lot of the times when we start out, on making it work for others, on reading others, on pulling what we're seeing outward and bringing it inward. And as we come into mastery of self, not just intuitive self, but as we come into mastery of self, we find that we're coming from outward in. We're pulling our soul, we're pulling on our presence, and we're letting it grow within us, and we're carrying that outward. So it's not just a matter of reading somebody's emotions or reading somebody's potentials anymore. Now it's relating it back to the whole as you master it. But finding that vision for yourself can be challenging when you're starting out, because it's really kind of this outside in thinking versus inward outward. And sometimes I think for ourselves we don't necessarily have that one vision or that one nudge that says, try this, try that. I think Spirit tends to get a little bit more sneaky about it when it comes to us having to do our own personal envisioning work. Sometimes I think that we're not going to get that big picture. We're going to get the nudges, and the nudges are what we have to go on. And I think that if we want that vision, if we want that clear vision of where things can go, of how we can grow into things, I think that's when we have to work with others. I think there is this need of sharing. I think that is an essential component of the gift. It comes through sharing. It doesn't just come through our connection with the divine, or necessarily even our clarity, because even when we're trying to plan something, even when we're making goals and doing the whole life coaching thing and coaching ourselves through birthing something, there comes a point where you have to share. And sometimes you have to know when you have to share, and sometimes it's a knowing of when you have to sit back and listen. So when you're mastering your intuitive self, not just mastery of self and personal development, when you're mastering your intuitive self, it's knowing when to share and when to fall back and to really listen for the guidance that's being presented at the moment. So there's a couple different layers to being a sensitive person, to being an intuitive, and even to being an empath. There's the personal development layer that we all have to go through at some point in our own way, and that's our own journey, our own path. But then there's also the mastery of our intuitive process and our creative process. I don't see too much of a distinction. For me, there's a gray area between intuitiveness and creativeness. I think you're pulling inspiration from somewhere in both cases. But I just wanted to point that out, that there are at least two different cycles at one time, and they both require different types of mastery and different types of ways of working through our daily lives and through what's presented to us, that sharing component, and knowing where you are in all of that. That is where your center is. And when you're able to pull the self-mastery into the intuitive mastery, everything just kind of falls into alignment. And a lot of the things that you aren't clear about will become clear. It will become clear to the point where even if you don't have the perfect vision, you know that nudge that you had, that whim that said, oh, I just love to do that. I need that so much in my life right now. I crave this deep down in my soul, whether it's chocolate cake or going on a certain retreat. You know to follow that. And you don't need anything more than that, because you have alignment and you have trust in that moment. So I just wanted to share that. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.